What up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And this time I'm reviewing Top Gun for the NES, which was made by Konami and is loosely based off of the movie Top Gun starring Tom Cruise. And the plot is pretty much that Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell, who is Tom Cruise's character, is on a new mission and he's flying in the F-14 Tomcat, but for some reason they don't give you a specific location where you're fighting at. And Top Gun has pretty much 4 missions in it, where it has two themes in it, which mainly consist of dog fights and the landing the sequence. Of course, dog fights are pretty much 2 planes going at each other in a battle. Now, both parts of each mission are pretty straightforward, but the landing sequence is the harder one to execute, you know what I'm saying, because you're supposed to guess the exact speed and altitude of your plane before landing. And like 9 times out of 10, you're going to pretty much crash the plane after you complete the mission. And what's kind of odd is that even though you will crash the plane, you will go to the next level because you practically completed the mission. So the landing sequence is pretty pointless in that regard. I'm thinking that what they should have did was just have the cutscene of the F-14 automatically land in after you complete the mission. That was a viable option, or just make the landing sequence just way easier than it is now. And for some reason, Konami decided not to have a soundtrack for the Top Gun game, which is kind of odd from the standpoint the majority of the Konami games that was released on the NES have a soundtrack, much like the vast majority of the NES games that's in the library. It's kind of for some reason, it just reminds, the fact that it has no soundtrack kind of reminds me of the Atari's 2600, because pretty much the vast majority of those games just don't have a soundtrack. Now, one thing that's I guess kind of unique about Top Gun is that you can select 3 types of missiles. The T-11 missiles, which is called the T-11 Hound, the T-22 Wolf, and the T-33 Tiger. And each of them have a certain number of missiles. The T-11 has 40, the T-22 has 20, and the T-33 has 10. And the premise being that the T-23 is the strongest, the T-11 is the weakest, and the T-22 is in the middle. Now, the only enemies in the game are only other fighter jets and aircraft carriers that are trying to blast you out the sky. It's kind of like variety in that regard, you know what I'm saying? Now, the graphics are okay, but the main problem is that the color palette is pretty much bland. As a matter of fact, so is the design. It pretty much has a particular blandness to it. All you see is the sky and the water if you go low enough, you know. Now the gameplay is okay too. it was like a nice touch to have a selection of missiles, even though it's like free. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's just like that line of secrets, whether it's pretty much kind of on the unnecessary side, outside of being like on the difficult side. Plus, the the game, just like I said, the game pretty much has no soundtrack, and to me, that is one of the main flaws of the game, if not the main flaw. This and the fact that Konami decided not to have one is a head scratcher. Mainly because, like, with most video games, the ones that has been praised, one of the things that's remembered about that video game is the soundtrack. No matter if it's Super Mario Brothers, Sonic, God of War for the PlayStation consoles, Halo for Xbox or whatever, that is the soundtrack is the one main thing that is remembered in the classics. You know, overall, Top Gun for the NES is pretty much just a mediocre video game adaptation of a movie that's pretty much a cult classic. You know, I say the good thing about it, I guess the best thing about it would be that LJN did get their hands on it. You know, they would have butchered it something serious. Now, I would only recommend Top Gun for the NES for those who do Let's Plays on their YouTube channel, or even like they're trying to have all the NES games in the library from the library. Now, as far as the score, I would definitely give it a 5 out of 10, mainly because it had potential to be a great game, but Konami just screwed it up in certain aspects. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, if you played Top Gun for the NES and you notice the flaws that I talked about, you can mention it in the comment section. If you like my review of Top Gun for the NES, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button and don't hesitate to share it. And don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.